We're sitting and smoking, and I'll tell you what the house is like. Gorgeous. Big, expensive, and it's Spanish marble his ashes are falling on. It's night now. I'm staring at the paper moon, and I remember the song from when I was young. I remember my mother and how she was always singing beautifully, meaningfully. We're outside next to the fountain that no longer flows, that has seen its day and now sits, neglected and rotting in bygone decades. But when the fountain flowed, he tells me, he would listen to it for hours. We start talking, and I don't lie. The stories we exchange are like the smoke rings he's blowing. They start off strong and then peel off bit by bit and twirl and flit up in the air and go up and fade. But you know they're floating up, 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 even though you can't see them anymore. I never remember what I say. When he starts talking, he goes on and on. I love listening, but don't know how to respond. I just hope he doesn't stop telling me stories with a fire in his stare. Stories about things I never thought of, like the cactus in the deserts in Mexico that lives only to bear its fruit, and then is sucked back down into the ground, so that when you find it, it's just a damn cactus fruit lying there, waiting to be eaten. This is the peyote I've heard of, but never knew anything about. He says it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and when someone's going to do it, they leave their home, just wander through the desert until the fruit finds them. If they wander around and aren't supposed to take it, it won't come to them. The fruit and the experience comes and finds the person who needs it. It's unexplainable but true, he says to me, still surprised by it himself, but believing 100%. Someone my friend knew in his town in Mexico went out and took it, and it changed the guy's entire life. People believe that it opens up a direct dialogue with God. It's a religious experience. They say it can help you answer some questions you may have had for a while. Whatever you want to ask or know or anything. It's interesting how every culture has a different relationship with altered states and religion and all that, I respond. It is. This guy saw his whole life in a line and saw what would happen if he kept being an alcoholic and treating people the way he did and all. It turned him around, and he started being super kind to his wife and spending lots of time with his kids. He says, he takes another drag. Only those who knew him well enough to know what happened understood what had changed to make him one of the most loving people, a complete turnaround from how he was before. He tells me all this like it's true, but then says, that's what they say. He keeps talking about the fruit and maybe says it's pink or purple, but my mind is stuck on the plant abandoning its fruit. I don't understand why that happens and how. It's beautiful, life is, I say. And he says it's mysterious and that God is not fully explainable. And I prefer to explain everything away with science. But he argues that some things can't be explained, like the Galapagos and Darwin, and how some species just change this way or that. For example, why do giraffes have long necks? And I say, well, it's science. And he says, okay, but why does it actually happen? And I say, well, now, I have no idea. I'm no scientist myself, but I'm sure there is an explanation. And he just shrugs and smiles, and in that silence, I doubt everything. Sometimes it's daunting, the amount of stuff you never knew you didn't know. I don't know what I think about the cactus, but only that the marble is getting as cold as the whitest white, and the day is done. I'm still thinking about that cactus as I withdraw, sucked up back into the house.